Allgemeinen Zeitung. Und wie Sie sicherlich wissen, haben wir jetzt einmal in der Woche haben wir die Tourismus-Show, die wir Ihnen bringen. Und das wird natürlich in Deutsch und Englisch gesendet. Good day. Today is Pangolin Day, as you would know. And this is our second edition of the Tourismus live broadcast. So welcome. Some of it will be in German, some of it in English. I hope you'll all enjoy it. So first things first, today we again start with our tourism topics. Wiebke, du wolltest uns heute etwas zu dem Umweltfonds erzählen.
Ein kleines bisschen zum Umweltfonds, weil Namibia hat Besuch aus Botswana erhalten, und zwar der botswanische Umweltfonds hat sich mit dem Umweltfonds von Namibia getroffen zum Austausch einfach über die Möglichkeiten, Probleme, für die Vorgehensweise, und haben auch die gesammelten Erfahrungen ausgetauscht. Und zwar einfach, wie kann man nachhaltiger mit der Natur umgehen, nicht nur in Namibia, sondern auch einfach
ja, so wie ich das richtig verstanden habe, war es ja, es sollte auch so sein, dass die sich uns eigentlich als Vorbild so ein bisschen angeeignet haben.
Weil man kann davon ausgehen, Namibia hat den Umweltschutz und den Naturschutz sogar im Grundgesetz verankert, und ich glaube, das ist sogar was Einmaliges fast auf der Welt, und davon wollen jetzt andere Länder auch profitieren.
Ja, und in ähnlicher Weise haben wir dann ja den neuen Fonds. We've got this new Community Conservation Fund of Namibia, and the good news was it was formally launched. Specifically, a sub-fund was launched, and that concerns the human-wildlife conflict situation. And Germany has actually spent €5 million, which formally was acknowledged as 72 million, but if you look at the exchange rate, it's closer to 80 million, which the so-called CCFN has now been able to invest into this human-wildlife conflict. The idea is not only to obviously spend it on tourism, but rather on the communal areas where these conservancies are. In the next month, they will determine 40 of these conservancies, which will be supported out of these returns, which the idea is to have an endowment fund, so theoretically they'll always spend what they create in wealth, and so as to regenerate the fund all the time. Very interesting thing, something to watch in the newspapers, and I'm sure there's a lot to come still. Und dann hattest du noch was weiteres zum Elefanten.
Genau, er ist wieder zurück. Das werden bestimmt die ganzen aufmerksamen AZ-Leser schon mitgekriegt haben. Hier in dem Ausschnitt, da sieht man, wie gleich ein großer Kerl hinter den Büschen vorkommt. Er befindet sich nämlich zurzeit auf dem Rössing Golfplatz, was eigentlich was Einmaliges ist. Also Golfspieler, bitte passt auf, wo ihr eure Bälle hinschleudert, nicht, dass ihr den Elefanten einlocht.
Ja, ich glaube, die Aufnahme ist wohl mehr im Swakop-Revier entstanden, aber er scheint sich am Golfplatz auch aufzuhalten.
Genau, richtig. Also auch der Manager hat nichts dagegen. Es ist Wasser da, es ist auch zu fressen da für den Elefanten. Wir sehen jetzt gerade Bilder, die im vergangenen Jahr aufgenommen werden, weil der Elefant war Dezember, hatte schon mal Besuch abgestattet. Er wurde dann zurückgetrieben, und leider zeigen sich jetzt auch die Farmer ein bisschen besorgt im Omaruru-Revier. Einfach ihre Sorge ist, wenn der Elefant wieder zurückgeht, dass er sie nicht über deren Plantagen am Omde-Damm dann drüber hermacht. Ja, es wird aufgerufen, und zwar, es gilt wirklich für alle. Leute, bleibt von dem Elefanten fern. Wenn der geärgert wird. Jeder will natürlich ein Selfie mit Elefanten machen, aber es ist nicht gut für den Elefanten. Wenn irgendwas passiert, es trifft das Tier, geht wieder auf das Tier zurück, das Tier wird zum Problemtier ernannt und muss erschossen werden. Und darauf kann man ja wohl wirklich verzichten.
Ja, es wäre schön, wenn das Tier irgendwie erhalten bleibt und in Ruhe gelassen wird. Ich weiß nicht, ob die Lösung unbedingt die ist, dass er jetzt permanent am Rossmund Golfclub sich aufhält, denn das geht ja am Ende wahrscheinlich auch irgendwann dann mal schief. Ja, aber kommen wir zum Hauptthema. Heute haben wir den Pangolintag und Weltpangolintag, um genauer zu sein. Das heißt, Namibia scheint den irgendwie ein bisschen anders zu feiern als der Rest der Welt?
Ja, und zwar Namibia feiert ihn heute, aber der eigentliche internationale oder Weltpangolintag wäre der 17. Wie auch immer, es gilt, dem Tier Aufmerksamkeit zu geben. Es gilt, dieses Tier zu schützen. insgesamt weltweit gibt es von dem Schuppentier oder Pangolin, wie es auch genannt wird, 8 Arten und alle sind vom Aussterben bedroht. Das Tier kommt in Asien und Afrika vor, aber 80-90% der gewilderten Fällen oder der getöteten Tiere stammen aus Afrika. Das ist aus Nigeria, aus Kamerun, Kongo, Uganda und auch aus Namibia. Und es ist einfach schade, wenn es was wirklich Einzigartiges, wenn es auch von unserer Vielfältigkeitskarte verschwindet. Deswegen dieser Pangolin- oder Welt-Pangolin-Tag, einfach um darauf aufmerksam zu machen zum Schutz des Tieres, dass einfach weltweit mehr Wissen über das Tier
mehr
gefördert
Bewusstsein
wird.
vor allen Dingen.
Genau.
Ja. Und hier sehen Sie auch die Sponsoren, die sich an einer
Ja.
Studie beteiligen von der Africat-Stiftung. Und eine Kollegin von uns war neulich kurz da, hat auch ein Interview geführt, das wir Ihnen später vorspielen werden. Naja, und das war eine Dame, Kelsey Prediker, die gerade ihre Forschung betreibt, wo sie sich näher mit den Tieren befasst. Also auf jeden Fall wird da viel getan im Moment und das ist ja auch gut so. Denn ja, Africat, man hätte jetzt nicht gedacht, dass das unbedingt in ihr Umfeld passt, aber man sieht halt, Tierschutz ist Tierschutz, das spielt da keine Rolle. So, und dann haben wir heute auch wieder, wie üblich, haben wir dann Ihnen noch ein paar Highlights gebracht. Hi, welcome back. As you can see, Chloe Durr is now back with us. You will remember from last week's live broadcast. Chloe is the person who does a lot of traveling for Tourismus-Namibia, the magazine that we bring out each month. So, Chloe, yes, welcome back. And I suppose you wanted to tell us a bit about the Black Maned Lion this time.
Yes, when I went to the Kalahari, I stayed at the Kalahari Game Lodge, and it was so special to spend some time with the black maned lion. They actually, through GPS tracking systems, they locate the lion. So it's a conservation effort. So that's why they have the collars. And yeah, they are so majestic, and they feel almost bigger than normal lion. But their black mane is apparently dependent on their levels of testosterone, and you know they're much stronger and hardier than normal lions. So they really are trying to conserve them as much as possible and keeping the genes as pure as possible. So it's actually the only population of black maned lion in Namibia. So it's really wonderful to see their efforts to conserve this like majestic animal. It really is.
And they are quite impressive.
Yeah.
It was actually, we spoke about it previously because I remember years ago, Kalahari Game Lodge, I think they were the only lodge ever to be allowed to bring back black maned lions from Botswana into Namibia. The idea obviously being to try to get the Kalahari lion, as it is also known, back into Namibia. So yeah, it's a concerted effort by those people down there. And then you also remembered that you actually once almost got left at Woche meteorite.
Yeah, I usually, I mean, I love the north, so whenever I travel, I usually just go there in one day because I just need to get to that area as fast as possible, and I was running out of fuel, but still decided to go see the Woche meteorite, which is a really impressive landmark of Namibia, and it's basically an iron meteorite made up of 86% iron and 16% nickel, as well as other trace elements. But you really, when you touch it, it's cold to touch, and in comparison to the sandstone in the amphitheater around it, it's really unbelievable, and it's
very hard somehow under the hand.
It's not that hard. It's malleable, and so they're actually having a problem with vandalism on the meteorite itself at the moment because people are trying to leave their mark or take a piece with them.
Yeah, there are
it's
people
quite
who
sad.
sort of believe in their universal, I don't know, funny impact.
It really is an incredible, I mean, you feel like you're touching something from space, and it's something like between 200 and 400 million years old. So it really is a piece of history you have there, and definitely worth a visit even if you're tank is on empty. It's 25 kilometers off the main road.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's close to Grootfontein, and if I remember correctly, they've even got a little shop there and whatever. So you can have
facilities. You can have a picnic,
refreshments and whatever. Yeah.
Stretch your legs. So
yeah. So it's a pleasant afternoon stop before you proceed to other destinations. And then you always told me about that special route which you love so much up at Rundu.
Oh, the river route. Obviously, the highway is really well built because it's carries so many trucks. But if you go inland towards the river, there's a beautiful dust road which takes you into the villages all the way along, with Angola on the one side. And it honestly is one of my favorite parts of Namibia. So often people are rushing to get to the Babatwa National Park or to see the game. But I think the real heart and soul of Namibia is in the people. And so I do tend to spend the majority of my time with the people. That's my passion. But I cannot recommend that river route more. You get to see fishing, you get to see just the humble way in which the people live, and yet they're so happy and so welcoming. And I mean, I spent days just meandering through their villages, and it's definitely a worthwhile meandering route on way to go and see the game in Babatwa. So again, it's definitely worth the few extra hours it may take. And it's actually, I've never gone in rain season. That's top of my bucket list because apparently it's very green, but so I don't know about the roads. I don't know about that road in rainy season, but outside of rainy season, it's more than wonderful to travel.
Well, I've always been somebody who sort of enjoys those sort of extra roads which take you through the back road.
Yeah.
It's the same throughout. A couple of you might remember the edition we had last year for the 4 O regions, basically in Wambaland, and it's the same thing there. It's as if time suddenly has a different value. You settle down, you're relaxed. So I actually enjoy these sort of routes. I'm not the man who always has to stick to the main road all the time, and I think that's what Tourismus-Namibia is about. We're trying to give alternatives. For those of you who prefer tar road, it's fine, no problem there. That's why we have them. But there are other people who sort of try the outback almost and try different things. So yeah, next week we'll bring you another few highlights, and that's it for today's. Now it's time for the interview, where we again bring you an interview on the pangolin. I hope you enjoy it.
She's from Africa. Hi. Hello. Welcome. Thanks. Welcome to you. Thanks. Tell me something about your project, or tell me something about your.
Okay. So the research that we're doing here at AfriCat is looking at the basic ecology of ground pangolin in Namibia. There's not much detailed research done on this species in general. Here we have the Temminck's ground pangolin. And so we want to understand what type of home range sizes they have, what's their burrow preference, what type of prey they're choosing. We've already gotten some preliminary results that they prefer only about 5 out of 30 species of ants and termites we have. So they're very picky in what they eat. And the goal is to use all of this information in helping make conservation plans for Namibia, as well as protocols for those pangolin that are trafficked and seized alive, because most of the time the poachers just take the pangolin and throw it in a sack. They don't kill it, so the police do seize live pangolin very often.
Okay. Tell me, what makes the pangolin so special? What is it?
Well, I mean, when you see one tonight, you'll understand.
We'll understand. We'll show you.
Yeah. Well, they're really a unique mammal. So they're covered in scales made out of keratin, which is just like our fingernails. It actually makes up about 20% of their body weight. And even though they're not so well known and not so well seen, they are the most trafficked animal in the world. But they are very unique. They've been around for over 60 million years, and now they're under threat because of us. Other big threats to them include electrical fencing and drought. Over 50% of our study individuals died during the drought. So this is also a side topic. I just gave you an introduction, just the surface. We're looking at a lot of things. But we also had no pups survive the drought. So yeah, they're very interesting, unique, special animals. They walk on 2 legs and they actually look a bit like a dinosaur.
Yeah, they're quite old, so. All right, what can we personally do for the conservation of pangolins? What, the people in town basically, what can they do to help them?
So right now, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of things going on, but the most important thing is education and awareness. Some people are scared of pangolin. They think they can attack a person. Some people, traditional Chinese medicine believes that they can be used for medicinal purposes, which is not true. But I think education and awareness is one of the most important things, to just spread knowledge that pangolin are dying on electrical fences. The drought is impacting them. And overall, if you see any suspicious business with pangolin, report it to the police immediately.
What would that number be that we can use?
I don't have the number.
You don't have it?
You can maybe share it in the link. Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
We'll just put it down here.
Yeah.
All right, and then one more question. What does Africa do? What do you guys do to prevent poaching? Do you, for the education-wise, telling them that it doesn't help with medicine? What?
So what I do is a very in-depth research project, but in general, all of our pangolin are protected, that I'm researching because they're on a reserve where we've got high security. And I do a lot of outreach, as we're doing now. We're talking about pangolin. I've presented to some different school groups, teaching them why pangolin are important for the environment and that they actually don't serve any medicinal or spiritual value.
Okay. One last question. We have World Pangolin Day coming up on the 15th. Why the 15th? Do we have a specific, why that date? What are you guys going to do on the 15th? What?
So it was some of the original people involved in pangolin conservation that decided on the 3rd Saturday of every February. So that's why it's the 15th this year, because it's the 3rd Saturday. And I'll be doing what I'm doing now, giving awareness talks, some outreach with schools and kids. I will be in Windhoek to give some talks as well. And I will also be giving research talks here at AfriCat on World Pangolin Day.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for coming.
Cool.
Yeah, as you can see, we're all in a learning process here, so we've decided, as from this week, to actually bring you the picture of the week at the end of the show, because we feel it's a bit of a waste of time if we send out a picture and you only have a short glimpse of it. So we'll give you a longer opportunity to actually look at this marvelous picture, which was, if I was correct, was taken by Petra Wunder. So it's a really nice picture of a couple of lines.